I got two big, gigantic potatoes. Mom says she don't like potatoes, so this is for me and Dad. It took me a minute trying to climb up on that stupid produce thing, trying to reach and grab the best looking potatoes, but I got them. And whenever you're getting these potatoes, make sure they're a good lump size because you're going to be cutting into them. It's a baked potato. Why do I have to explain a baked potato to y'all? This ain't no prime meat. This ain't straight out of Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. This is straight from a supermarket. Couldn't find the meat guy to save my life. This is what they had on the shelf. It took me forever to figure out which ones I was going to buy. And yeah, this is certified Angus. Two big juicy ribeyes right here. This is the main course. But I did get something special for Mom, something separate. I got her a New York strip as well. I know some people are different. Like, y'all tell me in the comments below. You like ribeyes or you like New York strips? Honestly, I can eat either one of these. I'll eat these suckers right now. Don't tell me y'all like them well done. If your answer's well done on steaks, you have no right to voice an opinion in this video. None. It's medium rare or medium is about where I'm at. So we're going to be doing this. We're going to do it right. And I'm going to show y'all the things that we're working with. First off, I got some Montreal steak seasoning. Montreal's like a good flavor to me. I like coating my steaks down with it and cooking with that. I got some Accent. If you don't know what this is, it's pretty much like a meat flavor enhancer. It's pretty much like salt, but it has a lot less sodium. Still gonna use a little bit of salt, not too much, and I'm gonna show y'all what I mean by that when we get into that in just a second. We're trying to make some better life choices, but we definitely gonna salt up our steak a little bit. Don't be afraid of that. I got some garlic powder right here. There's a lot of seasonings that are back here on the wall already. I just picked these up in case we didn't have them, because I ain't walking back. For the potatoes, I got some bacon bits. Like I said, I've already got stuff for the potatoes. We've already got butter, salt, pepper. We got shredded cheese, sour cream if somebody wants it. I just knew that we didn't have bacon bits. And I got a magic trick for them potatoes we're gonna be baking in the oven later. I got some garlic butter. We're gonna take them potatoes, we're gonna stick them in some foil, but we're gonna coat the outside of them potatoes in this garlic butter. And whenever them suckers get real nice and soft and it's time to eat them, oh, it's to die for. We got some foil right here, some aluminum foil to wrap up our potatoes, and I got some Dale's Marinate season. Like I said, everybody's different, everybody uses stuff differently, you know, but I like the taste of Dale's. I will say this stuff's pretty potent. You're not going to need a whole ton of this. For what I've got here, I'm probably going to use about, honestly, this much of the bottle, if I can be completely honest. You don't want to oversaturate your steaks and this stuff, I'm telling you. All right, so we're going to get out our little cooking sheet. We're going to lay these suckers on the cooking sheet. We're going to salt them up. We're going to let them sit for a good little while, and then we're going to marinate them in the Dale's seasoning and the other seasoning as well, and then I'll show y'all the cooking process and let y'all know how they taste. I can't stand whenever I'm trying to just enjoy Dr. Pepper and there's always somebody's like, you know that stuff's not good for you. There's better things for you to drink. Like, okay, Todd. Right now, you're the one that's making my blood pressure rise, so really, which one's the worst? That's good, DP. I get more vulnerable without these pills. And I didn't want y'all thinking I bought a flank steak, but if y'all look at the meat like, oh, you can get something so much better at such and such, and why didn't you process it yourself, and you should have killed a cow yourself and got much better meat, and you can't trust what's at the supermarket. I'm just cooking a steak, man. I already know some people's gonna want to crucify me in the comment section. I am still going to salt these steaks. I'm just trying to use as less sodium as possible. There's nothing wrong with just trying to be a little healthy conscious, that's all. Hey look, I got the salt. I'm gonna salt down the steaks. I'm gonna salt them down. I'm using more salt than Accent. I'm just trying my best to get as less sodium as possible. Sodium's not a good thing. Believe me, I know. We're gonna flip these bad boys over. Make sure that you're washing your hands when handling your meat. And with the hand that, oh God. And with the hand that I didn't touch these steaks with, oh my God, I can't pour with this hand. We're just gonna rub this stuff in, get a nice good coating on everything. This is basically the same thing as salt, just has less sodium. Just putting that out there. I just know somebody's just gonna be in the comments like, oh, you shouldn't use, they should use real salt, them steaks, all that's gonna burn off, they're not gonna be as good, blah, 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 blah. I've been cooking for a long time, I know what I'm doing, Hoss. Maybe you should go out and get some accent, try it for yourself, and maybe you'll see that old Devin knows what he's talking about. There's one thing I know, it's how to prepare a steak. You want to make sure that whenever you're rubbing this stuff in, you're actually getting the sides too. Don't just coat the top and the bottom side of the steak. You want to make sure you're rubbing this good on all sides. These suckers look so good, right? I'm not lying, like I want to eat these suckers right now. Just take a big bite out of them. RFK would be so proud of me. Do you like what I'm doing, sir? I'm trying to cook steaks with less sodium. But people on the internet got a problem with that. He doesn't know what he's doing. You don't know what you're doing. Hush. I'm just kidding. I love trolls. Okay, so now that we've coated these suckers down in salt and accent, we're going to put them up in the refrigerator and we're just going to let them sit like this. You can let them sit for 30 minutes, an hour, up to about 2 hours, 3 hours. You really ain't got to let them sit a whole lot longer than that. I know some people, when they do this, they might let them sit over 24 hours. It's not really going to hurt anything. I just have found that after about at least an hour, 2 hours with this, doesn't really change a lot to let it sit for a whole nother day. All right, so I got our 3 ribeyes right here. Well, really it's 2 ribeyes and a New York strip. For those of y'all who don't know, ribeyes are usually just a little bit more fatty, got a lot more fat marble inside of them, more of a buttery type of flavor if you're cooking with them or anything. And the New York strip's really just like more lean. It doesn't have as much fat and stuff in it. I just Googled that. I'm not gonna lie to it. Like that's the exact answer you're gonna find if you go and Google this stuff. Cause I was sitting here, I'm like, really, what's the difference? Cause the New York strip's looking better than the other 2. But I do love me a good ribeye. So, yeah, I might steal the New York strip or depending on which one tastes better. I think they're all gonna taste pretty good, but whichever one tastes the best is gonna be mine. I'm cooking, so I get to choose. I can already hear everybody right now ask me, well, what about the pepper? You didn't put no pepper on it. Cause I said so. Okay, we back. It's a little bit later than I wanted it to. Everybody and their mom's been calling me today. Hey, can you come help with this? Can you check this? Can we go do this? Hey, you want to come take a look at something? No, it's the holidays. I'm not responsible for doing Jack Dilly squat. I just burped all over these steaks. That's okay, it's more flavor. Okay, so we've let our steak sit in the fridge for a little while, coated in this salt and this little bit of accent stuff we put on them. So we've let it do its little process. Meat's supposed to be a little bit more tender now, according to what people say. So now it's time to marinate these steaks. You want to get you a good sized Ziploc bag. Don't be trying to do this with no sandwich bags or quart size bag. Get your lazy behind up and go to the store and get some gallon sized Ziploc bag because you're going to need it. So in goes the first steak. So in goes our ribeyes first. Oh yeah, I got plenty of room. I can make this work. And then I'm going to put the New York strip in here. Oh, the juices that are flowing off of this. And just to make sure I don't spill anything all over the counter, because if I do, Mom and Daddy's going to have a fit and beat me again, and I'm just not wanting to end 2024 on that note. We're going to open up our Dale's marinade sauce. And like I told you guys earlier, you don't need, ooh, it's potent coming out the can. Or the bottle, whatever you want to call this. Get your marinade, and you just pour you a generous serving, but don't go too crazy with this stuff. I'm telling you, it's potent. All right, now that we got our Ziploc bag closed up, we're just gonna kind of give this thing a good little toss around, good little shake. Steaks are nice and good and coated with this. All right, so we've done our salting process. We've let them sit for a couple hours or so in the refrigerator on a baking sheet. We've put them in a Ziploc bag. We've thrown the Dales on them. Now they're in the marinating process. So now we're going to take them and we're going to put them in the refrigerator and we're going to let them sit till it's time to cook later on. Bam! It's time to officially start cooking. Yes, I did rinse these potatoes off. I didn't use no Dawn dishwashing liquid, didn't clean them with bleach, didn't put them in the washing machine. You just need to rinse them off with some water, pat them dry, clean them up real quick. Anything you cook, just You know, try to be a little clean about it. Stupid foil. Why is this the most dangerous thing in the world to do? I don't know. Okay, got my first sheet here. Just want to make sure this is going to cover up the potatoes. And that's not. I didn't open it big enough. Maybe if I turn it. No. You want to make sure that this thing is sealed all the way around. You don't want a bunch of air escaping out of it. Okay, that's what you want to do for both potatoes. Make sure that it's fully encapsulated. Ain't gonna be a whole lot of air getting out of it. But before we move on to that, there's a couple other things. I just did this so I could show you guys real quick what to do with the foil. So I'm probably gonna cut, you know, a little bit bigger section just to make sure the potato really is like good and sealed. I think it'll be okay, but just to be sure. Take your fork before you do all that though, and like really dig into this potato. I like beforehand went ahead and put some holes in my potato anyway, but you really want to get you a good set of holes poked in this thing. Let some of the steam, air, you know, let it kind of vent a little bit while it's in the oven. It's going to help it kind of get nice and juicy. Let some of the juices run out, but not too many of them. That's why we got this stuff around it. But the biggest reason why you want to do that, get you some garlic butter. This is actually the first time I've used this one. Butter, garlic butter with Parmesan and basil. Found it at the local supermarket. You're gonna take your fork, gonna kind of, oh God, it's almost frozen solid. Don't do like I did and leave it in the refrigerator all day. When you get about 30 minutes or so before you're getting ready to prep these things, go ahead and get your butter out. That way it's kind of a little bit more softer than what I'm dealing with, because this stuff's almost like clay. Not everybody's gonna do this. This is just your boy Devin's way of doing this. So if you want to do it my way, then by all means follow. If not, then hey, do your thing. Ain't no harm, no foul. We like trying different things, and I know that this is a good way of doing it. And once you do that, just gonna wrap her up. Once again, we checking to make sure that everything's good and sealed up. Make sure that this foil is all the way encapsulating this potato. And that's what you want. You can set these on the rack itself. You can get a baking sheet, do whatever you want them. Like these things about an hour in the oven, preheated at 350 degrees. This is gonna be amazing.
Hey guys, this is future Devin. This is after I cook the steaks and everything the next morning. Mom and Dad's still asleep. So it took about 2 hours for those potatoes to cook. 2 hours because they were so gigantic big. I just want to throw that in there. It didn't take no hours, it took almost 2 hours. So remember, the size of the potato is going to greatly increase the time in the oven.
Hey, my fault, I screwed up. Very important step. Kind of spray your foil down with some non-sticking spray. Just kind of help this thing not stick to the potato whenever you pull it out of the oven. Honestly, I might just get, because I got butter and everything. I don't know, that ought to be good. I think we're good. Just put some non-stick stuff on your foil. You know, don't be an idiot like me and do all this other stuff first. Get your foil out, spray it down, stab the potatoes, put the butter on top of it, wrap it. Should be good to go. Put it on a baking sheet, straight in the oven. It's preheated, it's ready to go. Let's rock and roll. Oh, God, it's hot. Oh, that reminds me of summertime. Oh. All right, throw them bad boys in there. Put that timer on about an hour. When it gets down to about 20 minutes left, I'm gonna stick them steaks in there right with the potatoes so we can do a little bit of reverse here. This gonna be some good food whenever we get done. All right, so we got these ribeyes all seasoned up. We got them pulled out of the marinade. We got them sitting on the rack. And I'm going to throw these bad boys in the oven for the last 20 minutes while the potatoes are cooking for a reverse sear, and then they're going in the pan. These things have got onion powder and Montreal steak seasoning, along with the Dale's marinade. So the potatoes are still cooking in the oven, but you know what? We got the snakes out. They're ready to rock and roll. Potatoes ain't gonna be too long. Let's cut in these suckers and let's see if I achieved the right color. And it looks like I did. A good juicy pink center, a good medium color. That's what we was going for and that's what we got. But how does it taste? Bon appetit.